Welcome guys back to Carolina Rut Cuddles. We got a new toy. We're gonna go unload it off the trailer and then I'll get back with you. Got on the forklift. Welcome guys to Carolina Rut Cuddles. Today we got a new toy because you can never have enough toys. A Honda 500 guys. She's not in the best shape, but she's a donor for my 6x6 build. If you can, I don't know if you can see here, but the front end is she's jacked up. Wrecked in the ditch at 40 mile an hour. Guy's fine. He wrecked it years ago. Been sitting. Right now I'm trying to see if I can get the engine running, because then I can sell that. And we're going to take all this apart and we're going to build a 6x6 with the 300. What's that? There she is. She's hiding. She's ready. She's ready for this fun. Well, let's see if we can get this thing running tonight. So, tried getting it running. It won't run. Guy told me it probably didn't run. So I've got all the plastic, a lot of the plastics off. Just got to say, rivets suck. So now I got to get the engine out and the exhaust off and a bunch of other stuff, and we will have it right. Well guys, we're coming right along and tearing this thing down so we can cut the frame off. Got the carburetor out, the air filter, all the plastics, and we're just slowly getting it piece by piece. Turning the gas right now. Whew. Talk about a lot of work. I didn't think an engine would be so hard to get out. And you can see up here all the frame damage. I mean, it's crumbled. It's bad up there. Well, we'll see you next time. Well, welcome back to Carolina Rut Cuddles. I really ain't been doing a lot of recording or doing this thing, because all I'm really doing is tearing it down and taking the parts for this and that. But I figured I'd do a little recording, show y'all what's going on so far. So I've got the gas tank off. I've got the air box, carburetor, exhaust. Believe it or not, the exhaust come right off. Hard to believe. I just got the fan out the way. Got to get those oil lines over there off. And then right now I'm loosening up the front diff. You got to loosen up the front diff or take it off. I might end up having to take it off. Slide it forward. Just take it probably all this forward. Get this. Once you get this out the way, you can slide take the motor mounts off, which is one here, and one on the other side. And you can slide. You should be able, technically, to be able to get the motor out. That's what I watched a video on it, and that's the way the guy explained it. I ain't really been doing a lot of recording because this is just a tear down. I've cut some things like I had. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right there. The carb line was messed up. I don't think that's carb line. One of the carb lines was messed up. It was stuck. I couldn't get it out of the carb, so I just cut the wires. I mean, most of this stuff is old and doesn't work, so why not just throw it away? Other stuff I sell, like the plastics are good. The engine's good for anybody who wants to rebuild an engine. So you know how it is. We're just gonna get this thing apart and see what we can do, and then what I plan on doing, guys, is we're gonna cut the frame off right here. So see all that frame, and we're gonna buckle it onto the 300 right here on this butt end. We got a way to do it. We're gonna have a chain system. I really wanted a drive shaft system, but it's hard to find a differential, and then you're spending a lot of money. I want to see if this even works and if I like it, honestly. So that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna get the engine out the way, and once we get the engine out the way, we can cut the frame somewhat up here and down here probably, and then we can buckle it back in there, shorten it, make it right. But we got a good rear end here, so put a sprocket and all that on here and a sprocket on there, and we'll weld the frames together, and there's a few odd and end things. Got to get the Outlaws. Luckily this old Honda got 12-inch reels instead of the 300s that had like 10s, so we'll get it straight, guys. Okay guys, we got the shaft off. I don't know, well, there it is, right over there. We got that off. Had to loosen all the diff bolts up, take the mount off. It's over there, the diff mount. And we had to take the engine bolts out. Engine mount bolts are up top. On the other side, and on this side, we took the bolt out, and then you had to take the mount out. There it is from the floor. So now we gotta roll it, get the reverse cable, which is up underneath here. Oh, about there. Got unhooked all the wires. See, none of the you gotta make sure all the wires, ground wires, all of it's unhooked. Else you gotta rip that off. We're gonna slide it forward, try to get everything off, and then we're gonna get the force cable, and it should technically be able to roll out then. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, we got the motor on the side. I went ahead and took this entire bracket off. I tossed it. I don't know what it is. It's making me mad, but I got that off. Then I turned the motor on the side, and this U-joint just separated that. Sorry about that light. Then you gotta take all these bolts right here off. You see that cable? There's a bolt there and a bolt down there. You can see a clean bolts, and then two more. I think it's two more. No, one more right here. That's the force cable. I think that's what the guy told me. Anyways, that's what we gotta take off. And once you take that off, the motor's coming out. There's nothing else holding the motor. Just this little cable right there is the only thing holding me right now. Let's get it out. And just like that, we got her out. Damn, I'm sorry, dang. Sorry about cussing. She was a pain in the butt. Whew. She's heavy. Now time to fix the crank cord and see if we can maybe put her on a stand and see if we can get her actually running. Well, but we got her stripped down. It's time to start the 6x6 build. We got all the crap out the way. Man, I almost just feel like I should have took a torch and cut everything out and not save it. But hey, hopefully somebody will buy all this stuff for cheap who needs parts. I don't want to mess everything up. I know there has to be somebody out there looking for a block or looking for a diff or plastic. So it's best just not to mess everything up, and hopefully I can give it to somebody who needs it. Got a gas tank and everything. So now I guess I'm gonna get this wiring harness off right fast, and then I'm ready to start this build next week. Woo, I'm excited. Dang it, come on. Guys, I don't say that's a safe way to do it. It's a good way to F things up. That's all I had. Some nails, a jumper box, and we just put it in the terminal and see if we can get connection. And we did. The fan works. I don't know how much that thing's worth, but it's one more thing I can sell. Okay guys, update. There is nothing left on this frame. I've taken everything off that can be taken off except the rear end and shocks. This is what a naked frame is. Everything up here bent. I don't know if you can see in the video, but you got the handle there. I had to cut those handles off. It was so badly bent. But we are ready to go. We got everything out. Got the engine, fan, harnesses. So much junk, but we're finally got it completely broke down. Time to start on this build. Okay guys, the first step we're doing here, is taking the plastics off and the rack off. The rack's held on by this bolt, and I think it was this bolt. And then you had this bolt underneath there, right there. And then two under there, which are these two that hold the plastic on. You gotta take all the wires off. I just zip tied them out the way. Now we got the plastic off, we can start figuring out how to size this up and weld it up there and figure out how we're gonna do this. Got all the wires off. If you don't want to take the frame off, at least unhook the battery, because if you start welding on a frame without unhooking the battery, it's gonna fry that thing up. It's gonna tear everything up. So make sure you unhook the battery. Well, there we go. We're getting it going, guys. We got it tore down here. We got that tore down, and we're ready to start this thing. Okay, guys, we got the front cut off in a few pieces, and just cutting piece by piece off. trying to buckle it in here the best we can. So far we got all these out. Leave this for now. We're gonna cut this piece out and try to bend it in order to fit between there. See what we got. So we're coming along. This is kind of the prototype kind of look of it. We got to come along trying to stretch the frame a little bit with some C-clamps. We're gonna cut all this out the way, but we kind of got a lot. We got a lot of the frame cut. We noticed that this rear end, even straight, sticks out an inch farther on one side. Kind of weird for a four-wheeler to stick out an inch farther on one side, but it does. This rear end, 100% straight, measured, is 1 inch wider, so I'm gonna have to get a wheel spacer in order to fix that. But we're gonna cut all this out the way, run some welds from here up to the other frame, and I think we can't figure out how to run a chain, but what we think we're gonna do, we're gonna run a chain from here to this area, put a bearing and some another sprocket, 2 sprockets up here, one for this chain, one for that chain to come to with a sprocket. Then those sprockets can go in the middle with 2 bands to tighten it up and go back to the middle like an axle paddle there. That is how we got it started right now, guys. It's changed 6 different times since we started today, but this is just kind of where it's going. We'll see how well it goes. I'll keep you informed. Look at all this different angles and stuff we've been cutting all night. Okay, guys, see you in a little bit.